unfortunately, I think we might be in for a cold, wet, and rainy weekend here in Roseburg, Oregon. Got the factory QRC number 18T behind me. Welcome back. This is night number 1 of the 2023 Winter Showdown. We got this beautiful fleet of cars from Northern California up here in Roseburg to race. Got a solid field of competition in the pit area, and we're gonna head inside the building and check out the racetrack. Well, here is a look inside the building. The Roseburg Indoor is known for being a very small, tight, and fast bull ring. This place kind of races quicker than most on the West Coast just because it has really good banking here on the top and the bottom's not far below it. So you kind of end up racing side by side a lot with not a lot of room in between the cars. Now, luckily in the factory QRC ride and in my own Holmes family ride, I've won races here and actually have won the last 3 Winter Showdowns. So if you want to add a little extra pressure, 2019, 2020, COVID 121, and then last year in 2022 we won the Winter Showdown. So we've won the last 3 and we're hoping to add a 4th tomorrow night. Anyway, we're gonna get into today's video. Everything today sets us up for tomorrow, so it's important to qualify good, get through our heat races, and accumulate those points so we can start farther up in the main event. Anyway, gonna be strapping in soon. Hopefully the weather kind of quits and we can get the red 18T up front. Home here in Oregon, and it's really funny coming from that track we ran in Shawnee where all we did was lat grip to where now here in Roseburg it's like all you can find is grip. You are literally hauling the mail, or at least it felt like that for a lap or 2. Went out and did hot laps. We have 24 opens and ended up at the top of the charts after we got to run a couple, and then went out and did group qualifying, and now we are sitting 2nd. So a good start to our weekend. You know, a lot of guys ask, Tanner, what's the difference between the red and the black car? And the main thing is with this being a CR500, I feel like I just have so much more raw speed. Like, we just have more horsepower. So during a qualifying lap like that, I kind of felt all over the place, like I was making mistakes, or my car just had so much right rear in it, like it could not get into the corner without wanting to bounce. But since, you know, you have that more horsepower, it kind of makes up for it. Whereas with my 4-stroke, you know, if you start making mistakes, I feel like it's easy to fall down the ladder. So that's definitely the advantage to the red car, and Jimmy definitely has it dialed in. We just got to kind of fix that one issue of getting into the corner and not letting the car bounce, because you definitely, you know, lose time. Anyway, with that 2nd quick qualifying run, we're now going to be on the pole of our heat race, and we need to win this to kind of continue our good weekend that we're starting off with. Trying to capture my breath. Led all 8 laps of the heat race, did exactly what we needed to do. Racetrack is still so fast and I'm still acclimating back to the speed, or maybe it is a little faster than normal. I feel like I'm grabbing onto the steering wheel, and I've definitely gotten smoother from qualifying to that heat race, and the little adjustment we did to the car that took a little bit out of the right rear was very useful, because now it turns in better and it's just not stuck and then, you know, starts to bounce. So yeah, car is definitely better, which is good. Started on the pole though and won that, and now we're gonna start 6th in this next heat race, and if we can win that, that'll put us on the pole of tonight's preliminary main event. We really got to get through, you know, the field in this next one coming from the 3rd row. I think we can though. We got so much speed and just kind of waiting for the bottom side to hopefully come in. It almost seems like it's so greasy down there, so it's just difficult to maneuver between the lanes. almost did all we could do there. Started 6th, drove up to 2nd. Not really anything to complain about, just kind of ran out of laps. At the end, I started to track down the leader. I don't even know how to keep expressing it. I talk about how fast the surface is, and a prime example was out there. Me and the 14 went back and forth for slide jobs, and I don't know what mine necessarily looked like, but when he slid me back, like, they're coming quick, and it's hard to just complete a slider because the top's so fast, and the bottom, you literally just skid, like you just slide across, and it's really hard to make any grip down there. So I'm not sure if it's still greasy or for some reason it's just, you know, you're not able to grip up or hook up off the bottom and, you know, get drive out. So racetrack's really interesting at the moment. We're gonna watch the rest of the heat races, but at worst we should start in the first 2 rows. Hopefully though, if everything plays out, we'll be on the outside pole. The racetrack is losing grip right now, but it's still extremely fast, and it's just lacking a bottom lane. I mean, it's a little bit better than it was earlier, but you just can't like grip up down on the bottom and drive off and make any speed compared to what the top can do. And you don't even have to run way up here. I mean, guys are ripping right around the crease, and it's obviously longer than the bottom, but when you have that banking to rely on, you can literally just keep your foot in it and get ripping around. With the 1st and a 2nd, usually that would put us on the front row, but tonight was pretty competitive. There was another car that won both the heats, and then Jesse Caldwell got a 1 and a 2 as well, and he was quick time. So I'm gonna be rolling off from 3rd, 2nd row inside for this feature. Hopefully the surface comes around a little bit and we can really get dicey up front. We obviously want to win tonight, and we're in a pretty good spot. We just got to try to get to the front and get open track as quick as we can. Well, leaving the racetrack right now, ended up being the first loser tonight at the Roseburg Indoor behind the 86J of Jesse Colwell. Sucks we didn't get the job done. Obviously, it's hard to ever be, content or happy with second, but he was really fast. We started third, got into second, battled with the 46 of Preston Carr, and then, once I kind of got into that runner-up spot, I had a couple of opportunities on restarts to maybe make something happen, but that's my biggest critique. My car was good. Jimmy had the factory QRC number 18T dialed in. I feel like we were just as good as the 86J. Some laps we were better, some laps he was better, but ultimately, like on restarts, when I had my best chance, I never fired off well or put myself in a position to possibly get by him. And I can tell you it's not going to be that way tomorrow. If it's the same, I'm definitely going to get my act together. But finally, after a couple of failed starts, the last one actually was pretty decent. I timed it and I had an opportunity to slide him, and I tried to make something work, but I just ultimately didn't clear it. He drove around the outside of me and was able to drive on to the preliminary night win. It's really crazy how much him and I have went back and forth, whether it's here at Roseburg, Red Bluff, or when we drove 2,000 miles across the country to Shawnee, Oklahoma. Like the past 6 months, I feel like a lot of races, it's been basically between us. So I'm expecting a very similar matchup tomorrow, and we're just gonna have to get our race car a little bit better. We have some ideas on how to get some more drive and just make a little bit more corner speed around the high side. One thing that's valuable and worth noting is I think I get around the bottom better than anyone. Even tonight, when it wasn't very good, I still was decent enough down there to kind of be okay for what it was, I guess. So I know that doesn't sound great, but out of everyone, I think we kind of made it work. At the end of the day though, tonight wasn't the important night. It just kind of helped set us up for tomorrow. So we did our job. We have more work to do tomorrow, and we're gonna try to hopefully start as far up front for that 40 lap finale and try to have a good shot at that $1,000 check. Bring it back home to Northern California for my factory team. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, and I look forward to bringing you guys along with us for the rest of our journey this weekend and beyond. See you guys all there tomorrow for the Winter Showdown finale. Deuces.